And today, on The Raging Atheist, the sweet, innocent girls of Girl Defined is gonna give us a complete shocker and tell us why they don't like porn. What is up, all you sinners and saints out there? I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist, and today I'm going to do something that I really don't do very often, and I'm going to defend porn and the porn industry. Because even though, you know, I'm not going to lie and say I never watch porn, I do think that porn does degrade women. I do think it cheapens women, and I'm totally against the industry in concept if I am for their freedom to be an industry, if that makes any sense. But the girls of Girl Defined are gonna just get a little crazy with the porn industry here, and I have to call them on their bullshit.
Hey guys, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girl Defined Ministries, and in today's vlog, we're gonna be unpacking a crucial and serious issue that we need to talk about in this modern day and age. So today's post is called 3 Ways Porn Deceives Girls About Their Sexuality.
So right off the get, you're gonna get this crazy ass idea that porn somehow deceives girls about their sexuality. Now, one thing I can say about porn is that it's pretty nasty. One thing I can't say is it's pretty deceptive. Porn doesn't go out and say, hey, look at me, I'm innocent. Porn says, look at me, I'm nasty as fuck. And if you're gonna say deceive, if you're gonna use deception for porn, well, that's just an illegitimate point. Nobody goes into watching porn thinking that they're gonna be watching a normal movie. You're gonna be going into watching porn knowing you're about to see that chick get pounded, maybe in her asshole.
Wow, okay.
Maybe, I don't know, if you're sick, you're gonna watch some chick licking some dude's toes. I mean, there is a billion different forms of porn, and not a single bit of it is deceptive. You know what you are getting from the very beginning.
But I was sitting across from this modeling agent owner, Jeff, and he was sitting across from the desk from me, and I had decided at that point that I did not want to pursue a modeling career. And a lot of that came down to Jeff's words and what he told me during this interview. And when I told Jeff that I wasn't interested in taking the job and I wasn't interested in becoming one of his models, basically, he looked at me and said that if I wanted to be successful and if I wanted to take advantage of these opportunities and become like a real woman, basically, he said that I needed to be willing to strip down for the camera.
Hell yeah, I bet his opinion was if you wanted to succeed in that business, you needed to be willing to strip down for the camera. Now, if you're a strong woman, it is quite possible to succeed in that business without doing so. You chose to be a coward and not try that harder route. You chose to say, well, I'm either gonna do that or I'm not gonna do it at all.
I guess this just isn't for me.
That's not strength, that's not character, and not to mention, and I mean, I'm gonna be somewhat of a prick here, but Bethany, if you wanted to be a model, you definitely have to do something about that nose.
And he said, he looked across at me and he was like, young lady, if you want to be confident and comfortable in your own skin, then you need to be able to strip down in front of the camera. And when you do that, then come back and we can talk. And that was basically the gist of his message, that if I wanted to be a confident, comfortable girl in my own skin and confident in my sexuality, that I would need to strip down for the camera because that's normal, that's natural, that's what everyone does. It's not a big deal. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I just needed to get out of there.
Yeah, and that's probably normal for his agency. I'm sure that there are agencies out there specifically designed for Christian women as yourself, Christian publications, Christian magazines. I'm sure that they're not pasting 18-year-old girls in bikinis on the covers of their magazines. So there is a platform for a person such as yourself to make it in that industry. You just chose the cowardly way because you didn't like the conversation you had with one douchebag of an agent. And that's on you, that's not on the industry. And I'm not even arguing that the industry isn't sexist or doesn't degrade women. And I'm talking about modeling. I'm not talking about porn, because porn obviously does. That is the point of pornography. I mean, and it's deceptive to suggest that pornography should be anything otherwise than what it is, but we'll get into that later. Right now we're talking about you and this experience you had, and you are allowing that to pretty much paint a broad picture of an industry you know nothing about.
But then as you thought about it, as we both thought about it a little bit more, we really realized that that message of your sexuality is public, it's for everyone to see, it doesn't matter, stripping down for the camera, nudity, no big deal. That message is really the prevailing message that we hear, that we see in our society today. So,
and here they do make a valid point. They make a point that I'm not going to argue against at all, because I do think society does exactly what they just said. I do believe that society has been ruled by men for time eternal, and they have cheapened women to be sex objects, and that has become a huge problem. And we're seeing the ramifications of this problem in the whole Me Too movement, and all these douchebags getting called out for the terrible shit they've done. So I'm not going to argue against this point, but I'm quite sure that we're not going to agree, because you're going to take this and you're going to apply it to porn. This applies to industry, this applies to society, this applies to movies and Hollywood, and what men are putting out in these versions of women that they're putting out. You don't go into porn with anything other than the thought, as I've said before, that you're about to see somebody get pounded. That's what porn is. There's no deception there. The deception comes from the subtle manipulation of society through its artistic media, and how men perceive women, and when you want to have that conversation, we can have that conversation, but to apply that to porn, there is no conversation. If you don't like porn, when you know what you're gonna get from it, then don't fucking watch it.
I mean, all of these things are telling us that, hey, your body's your own, live it up, show it off, no big deal. And the porn industry is one that is exploding right now. And that message is obviously the prevailing message that we see and hear from the porn industry. And so this is a problem.
The porn industry is exploding right now? This is the first time the porn industry has ever exploded? Guess what? No, the porn industry exploded a long time ago. Porn industry has been popular for a very long time. The porn industry was popular back in the prude days, when everybody thought that there was no porn, and guess what? There was a lot of fucking porn out there. There was. To suggest otherwise is unfactual. And the same douchebags that had the same douchebag ideology that you're spitting right now has been fighting against porn all of those years. So to suggest that porn is somehow just now exploding and somehow just now becoming this dangerous thing for society is a lie. And as Christians, you'll go to hell for that shit.
I want to give you 3 specific ways that the porn industry is deceiving us as girls about our sexuality. Number 1, you are only as valuable as your body.
I haven't seen that one lately. You're only as valuable as your body. I've seen mom takes 12 dicks. I've seen midget takes a 12-inch cock. I've seen 2 nurses get it on. Haven't seen the one you're talking about. I'll look for it.
Now that is a huge lie that we see, and here's how we see it. Because when you look at the porn industry as a whole, what is it made up of? It's made up of primarily young, beautiful women.
I don't know what porn sites you're going to, but the porn sites I visit has a hodgepodge of women. You can find whatever the fuck you want. If you're into young beautiful, you're gonna find some young beautiful. And by the way, go on the internet and check out the pictures of them with their makeup off, because they're not so beautiful. They're fugly. But they make them look good, so if you want that, you'll find that. But if you want fat, you're gonna find fat. If you want fat and black, fat and Asian, if you want butt fuck ugly fucking a horse, guess what? You're gonna find that too. So for you to sit here and say that porn is what you're saying, no, what you're talking about is Hollywood. And if you want to have that conversation, that's a legitimate conversation to have. Right now, you're just making no fucking sense at all.
So what happens when we as women may see something like this, we see that and think, oh, that's what beauty is. That's what valuable women are. That's what they look like. Oh, so we compare ourselves, and guess what? 99% of the time, we're not going to measure up to these perfectly airbrushed, perfect camera angles type of women.
Right here, what they're saying is inherently false. For one, what kind of chick, and I'm sure there are a few out there that would like idolize this, but what kind of chick is gonna see the young beautiful girl, I mean quotations, the young beautiful girl laying on her back, getting jizzed all over her face? What girl is gonna look at that and say, you know what, I'm gonna idolize that bitch? You know, I don't even idolize the dude doing it.
Yeah. The porn industry is a revolving door of young, beautiful women out. And once they're not deemed beautiful anymore, guess what? They have no more need for them. Yeah. And when we see this as women, we need to recognize that's a lie. Our value as women is not determined on our outward appearance. It's not determined on how flawless our skin or face is. Our value comes from God.
No, your value does not come from God, but that's an argument that we're just not gonna have right now. And I do agree that your value doesn't come from your outward appearance. And I would argue that that's not what porn is promoting. Like I said, there's a hodgepodge of women in porn. What porn is promoting is sex.
You're sweating because it's a very serious topic.
And if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's what a free society is. And if you want to live in a free country, well, you have to make those sacrifices, even though it goes against your religion. Don't participate in that. But these women have the free choice to not have your viewpoint on these things, to not value themselves as much as you think they should, and make money however they want to make money. And if there's a market for it, I don't see any harm in it. Now, if you want to talk about exploitation, then that's on those individuals to rise up against that and to not exploit themselves, but they have the freedom to do so. This is a free society. So what you're arguing for is not a free society. You want an unfree society to where your religious doctrine can dictate what is and is not right by societal standards. And that's not fucking America. You need to go over to Saudi Arabia and become a Muslim, or create a new country somewhere like Saudi Arabia for fucking Christians.
The second way that porn is deceiving us is by promoting the message that nudity is common and cheap.
Porn isn't promoting that. Porn is that. It is it. It is that. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
As young women living in this modern age, it's no secret that nudity, like we've been saying, has become very common and very cheap. Pornography has really promoted this idea amongst young women and women in today's day and age that our nudity is no big deal, that it's common, it's cheap, we should be willing to flaunt it off, it's hot, it's sexy, show it off.
Will you please tell me where the fuck these women are? It's been a while. I mean, it's been a while, and I need some women like this. But in reality, guess what? They just ain't. I can't walk down the street right now to some naked ass women. So what are you talking about?
You don't need to keep it sacred. You don't need to keep it hidden. There's nothing private. There's nothing private about it. You know, if a guy asks you for a nude photo, send it to him. What's the big deal? It's to be, come on, celebrate it in the public. Show it off to anyone.
I had no idea it was that fucking easy. I could have been just walking around asking every single chick to send me nude pictures, and they just fucking do it because society tells them to. Holy shit, man. Mind blown.
Is that God designed our bodies to be insanely beautiful. He had a perfect and beautiful design for us, and he wants us to actually celebrate the beauty of his design within the right context. And that context is within marriage, to show off our bodies in that context.
So let's think about what you're saying in context. So you're saying that God, the creator of the universe, created this entire massive fucking universe, right? And in the midst of that,
I want to keep this short. I'm getting too long-winded.
He was like, in 400 trillion years, a planet's gonna come along, and that planet is gonna be just right. So I'm gonna zoom forward, and God zooms forward 400 trillion years from when he created the original universe to come to our galaxy. And boom, as Earth comes together, you know, in 7 days, right? Because we all know that science has proven that shit. and he's just like on break from the rest of the universe, and he takes time to meticulously orchestrate this thing called the human being, which several times throughout our history he has grown so sick of us he's tried to fucking kill us completely. But he took time out, and so I can just picture this old man with this big white beard, because that's how you guys like to depict him, just taking a break from creating the universe to zap himself forward 400 trillion years to meticulously design this human body that is only found desirable by humans. Makes sense to me.
The last lie that we want to talk about, the last way that porn is deceiving us as women, is that it tells us that it's empowering to be objectified, that it's empowering to be viewed as an object.
I'm not really sure that I can disagree with you on that point, but I will say that these women are making that choice.
I feel like there's so much.
Okay.
And doesn't your God give human beings free will? I mean, doesn't he give these women the free will to make that choice? And I know in this video that you liken it to prostitution, and you're saying that they're selling their bodies and they're selling their beauty to make a profit. And that's your whole point here. But doesn't your God give human beings free will to do just exactly that?
Now, this is a very deceptive lie, because it's not something you'll see at first glance. And in fact, when I've done research and talked to people, they'll say, and I've even received emails from girls saying, okay, well, showing off your body is empowering. I mean, that's our sexuality. We should embrace it. But in fact, what happens when we look at the porn industry is there are these women who are valuable and precious in God's sight. They have so much value to him, but they are being viewed as objects for men to consume. They're being sold.
Yes, they are being sold. That is the point of the porn industry. And these women are making that choice. Whether you like it, whether I like it, that's their choice to make. And whether people like you were to eventually somehow outlaw the porn industry, guess what? They'd make 3 times as much money on the black market doing it. This has been around forever. And although I don't really embrace, just keeping tradition for tradition's sake.
I got the revolving door.
Oh, well, yeah, but you kind of messed it up.
This is a battle that I don't even really think you should win. Because sexuality isn't some sacred thing given to us by a God that created us all. Sexuality is an individual thing. Sexuality is an individual thing that we as animals deal with individually. And sexuality is different for each single individual person on this planet. And what the porn industry is very good at is providing images of all those different sexualities. So it can be used as a very good outlet for a lot of good things. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't necessarily like the porn industry. I do think it is degrading. I do personally try to stay away from it. But do they have a right to exist? It's a free country.
I mean, a lot of porn costs a lot of money. Our bodies become a consumable commodity to be purchased. And there is honestly nothing more demeaning or objectifying to a woman than placing her up and saying, we're going to pay to view this woman. I mean, how objectifying is that? But we're deceived into thinking that somehow this is glamorous.
So let me get this straight. You're against people profiting off of their looks. You're against putting attractive women up on the screen and making a profit off of that. That's what you're saying right now.
God, thank you for making me a beautiful woman. Would you help me to embrace my worth and my value in your sight and to live as a beautiful daughter of the King rather than an object to be consumed? Girls, porn is dangerous, deceptive, and so demeaning to women.
A daughter of what fucking king? What king are you talking about? A daughter of God? A God that doesn't exist? Or if he did exist, he's dead trillions of years ago? Or if he's not dead, he's so far away, he manipulating the universe to do what he wants that he could not possibly give a flying fuck about the speck of an existence that is Bethany or Kristen of Girl Defined? Is that what you're talking about?
And we just hope as you've watched this video that you've seen a few of the lies that maybe you've been believing, or maybe friends that you know have been believing. And we just want to challenge you, encourage you to not be deceived anymore, but instead reject these lies because they're not God's best for us. God has a beautiful design for us as women.
Yes, and you've made that design completely clear in the rest of your videos. Your purpose as women is to be wives to men, to be the sidekicks to your betters, to produce the offspring of your superiors. That is what your God thinks of you and wants from you and desires from you. To be nothing but sex slaves for men.
Come back! You did really good!
But you're so righteous and pure, right? You don't believe in making a profit off of an attractive woman. So I'm sure that your YouTube channel here isn't monetized at all, and you're making no profit at all from the two lovely ladies that I see before me. I'm fairly certain you are. Oh, and check this out.
If you like this video and you appreciate the kind of content that we're producing here on this Girl Defined YouTube channel, then we just want to invite you to come on over and support our channel by joining us, by linking arms with us on patreon.com. Over on Patreon, you can just give $1, $2, $3 a video just to say, hey, I back this channel, I like what they're doing, and I want to support them and help them to continue doing that.
Yeah, you ain't naked getting fucked. But this shit right here is porn for evangelicals. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share me on your social media, comment in the comment section below. I'll see you soon.